tell me about your first project. How was that? Because I know you ran into some challenges, so it'd be interesting to sort of elaborate a bit more on that.
Yeah, so from 2009, I did a flat, but it was a flat that we'd owned, that we'd lived in prior to moving to the US. So when we came back, I just gave it a very basic cosmetic renovation and sold it. And that really gave me the pot of money to invest. And that was a significant amount. I'm not gonna lie. I've been very open to say that I did start with a very big pot. So the goal was to look around for flats for around the £500,000 mark or houses, and start renovating those, which back then you could buy a house in Hackney for £500,000. You certainly can't now. So I started looking, and I realized that I was up against everyone. It seemed that if I wanted to stand out, I needed to move up to the next stage, which was around the £1 million mark. So I found my very first professional renovation project was a former HMO, which I didn't know was called an HMO. I thought it was bed sits. Didn't know the word HMO then. And it had been owned by a bus driver who had 11 children and had bought each of the children a house in Hackney over many, many years. And he passed away, and his house was then in probate and empty for 18 months. So once that came up on the market, I purchased that and set about renovating that. I'm
interested to know, how did you find that property?
That was through Foxtons. I ended up buying all my properties via Foxtons. I ended up having a great relationship with them, and so I would buy through them and I would sell them through them, and they would ring me whenever a property that they knew I'd like would come on the market. They'd say, "Hey, got one for you," and they knew that I'd buy it. So yeah, we had a good relationship.
Because it's interesting, because I've always thought that if you were buying property, that going to agents, especially a higher end agent like Foxtons, that you wouldn't get the value there, that you need to find like dealers and things like that. Like, so you're saying you sourced that property with the Foxtons? Okay.
Yes. You think that buyers and sellers, they've all got the same problem. Buyers want to sell for the highest price, sellers want to buy for the lowest price, and the agent just wants to get it done. So, and also there are a lot of properties that don't necessarily come on the market, and the sellers are looking to sell them off market, and because they don't want their neighbors to know, or whatever the case may be. So by having a really good relationship with an agent and them knowing that you will do the deal, you save them a huge amount of work. So when they could ring me and say, "We've got this property, it's on this road, we can pick you up this afternoon, we've arranged the viewing already, can you do it?" And I'd say, "Yep, fine, I'll come and do it." They knew that I'd walk in and by that evening be able to have run my numbers and know whether I would buy it or not. And that happened on numerous occasions.